Network is committed to delivering high-quality care to the communities they serve. Their award-winning physicians and specialists provide a level of expertise that has resulted in regional firsts and outstanding patient outcomes. For a physician referral, call 866-654-2362. To learn more about the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group, visit pbhnphysiciangroup.com. pbhnphysiciangroup.com to get in touch with the Palm Beach Health Network Physician Group.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur. And most certainly, never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to helping the customers and the communities they serve move forward financially. See how they can make a difference for you at pnc.com.
It's your boy JC on the brand new Questionable Call with Josh Cohen, up right now on YouTube. We now know exactly why the Tyreek Hill situation happened. Brand new videos out and we got it. Subscribe now to Questionable Call with Josh Cohen exclusively on YouTube. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got new Genix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yes. You just need to send them a text.
Text EDGE to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of new Genix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of new Genix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help get you back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text EDGE to 321321. That's EDGE to 321321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
All into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Imagine going 1-6 in the punchline picks.
Wow.
That is the life of our producer, our reluctant producer, Christian Cat behind the glass. Hi, everybody. It's a beautiful Tuesday, week 1 in the books in the NFL. Colin Russo here, joined alongside me, Mike Rizzo for ESPN 1063 in downtown West Palm Beach at the City Place Studios. C-Cat.
I can't stop laughing.
What's your reaction, huh? 1-6?
I'm out on the show till an hour. So.
That's right. C-Cat doesn't speak on the show until the second hour.
Hey, he is our reluctant producer, so we got to give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, C, you there? I think someone said free money last night. I think someone on this show said, I don't know why you guys are so high on the Jets. I don't think this game is going to be close. Lo and behold, Christian McCaffrey doesn't play, and they still beat the tar out of your team, okay? And I'm looking at Colin, and I'm looking at C-Cat. The New York Jets are officially your guys' team. So, fair play to you,
Packed program today on Russo and Rizzo. We got Mike Tannenbaum, NFL front office insider. You can catch him on ESPN. You saw him with Theoretically Speaking, which is 2 to 4 weekdays on these very stations. We got him over segment 3, so that will be around 4:45. Got the 5 and 5 later today. Should be a fun one. We want to get our top 5 power rankings. Mike and I are going to decide that next segment. We're going to panic, or we're going to be patient on a couple of teams. Nonetheless, Monday Night Football in Santa Clara. Not in San Francisco. Santa Clara. Make that clear. 32-19 final. San Francisco takes that over the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers' triumphant return since falling down and tearing his Achilles. 4th play of the game a year ago. Aaron Rodgers just gotten through a game healthy. It wasn't the prettiest game of all time from Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think it was the worst game of all time. He went 13-21, 167 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. But on the other side of things, Brock Purdy, I think mostly played a mistake-free game. I think that's been the highlight. That's been the theme of his career. Mistake-free.
Correct.
He doesn't need to reinvent the wheel. He's not, he doesn't need to build a sports car. He's not going against Ferrari in Le Mans. He's not the Ford guys. What Brock Purdy needs to be is make sure the floor doesn't collapse from underneath you. And that's exactly what he does.
You're saying game manager.
Not a game manager. I think he's better than a game manager.
I do too. And that's why I'm pressing you a little bit on that.
Mistake-free is Brock Purdy's. He'd rather play a mistake-free game than he would, get cute and try to make something happen.
And that's why they went with him instead of Trey Lance, right? They draft Trey Lance and they go, oh my gosh, we made this tremendous mistake. We traded up to take Trey Lance in 2021, and then you draft Brock Purdy with Mr. Irrelevant, and Shanahan's going through his things and, his progressions or whatever he's got to do at the quarterback position as a head coach, and he goes, wow, I like the Mr. Irrelevant more than our first-round pick. And I say fair play to John Lynch and Shanahan for going, all right, we made a mistake. We're going to get rid of this guy. We're going to look at everyone in the face and go, yep, Trey Lance isn't the answer. We drafted him in the first round. We're going to move on. We're going to get what we can, and we're going to go full sales with Brock Purdy.
I
really like that operation, Colin. I really do.
It's weird. They're such a factory for running backs and good run game and offensive linemen. It's just that Shanahan system. I heard Jonathan Zaslow, who was on National today, talking about how it's kind of a shame that Shanahan does not have a Super Bowl yet, because in a weird way, he really is, just for how good of an operation he runs and the coaching tree that he has created throughout the NFL. It's kind of a shame that he hasn't won the big one yet.
Yeah.
And he's been mostly pretty poor in the big one, other than,
last year
was fine. But the Jimmy Garoppolo game was a disaster, and we all know what happened in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of a shame that we haven't seen Kyle Shanahan take the big one yet. And that's, it's
going to happen. It's the inevitable.
I don't know.
It's the inevitable.
They need to be blessed with a whole lot of health, with a whole lot of guys who are getting up there in age. And that, to me, is slightly concerning.
It's the inevitable, in my opinion. I think he's going to get a championship. It may be after Andy Reid retires. Now, I don't know how much longer Reid has. I picked them to win this year. So clearly I am buying stock in San Francisco and Shanahan to win a Super Bowl. They didn't have their best player on offense last night. And you want to know what they did? They ran for 180 yards. I'm convinced that any unrestricted free agent off the block can get on that team and run for 100 yards. Now, this is with all due respect to Jordan Mason, who had an incredible game, 28 carries, $147, and a touchdown. But Colin, I'm convinced that a somewhat decent football player that plays the running back position can go there and have success. McCaffrey just gets them to the next level. Agreed? McCaffrey puts that offense on a whole new level.
They've had a plethora of very successful running backs through that franchise in that Shanahan system. McCaffrey's great, but I think the system is greater. We know how good McCaffrey is. He's probably a Hall of Famer, one of the rare Hall of Famers at the running back position that's playing today. And I think that Shanahan it's a perfect marriage. This is Belichick and Brady of the running game head coach matchup.
And the questions we had when McCaffrey got traded on over from Carolina was, all right, is he going to stay healthy? The Niners are wasting whatever they're giving up for Christian McCaffrey because he's never going to get healthy. He's been healthy enough, I feel, for the last couple of years. Like, I feel like when he was in Carolina, it was every other year something was wrong with Christian McCaffrey. Now it's like, all right, he'll miss 1, 2, 3 games in the regular season.
Ever since he got to San Francisco, he's the most healthy guy you've ever seen.
And you know what? It's a product of a good situation. Sometimes you just need a new scenery. Like sometimes you just need a new scene.
Have you ever heard the stuff about McCaffrey and how his parents, who are of course athletes, raised him and like he couldn't wear jeans on game day, and he was drinking the electrolytes when he was 6 years old and all that nonsense. But, stretching 15 times a day, making sure his body's pristine for a game, that's McCaffrey. And so that's why the injury stuff, he takes care of his body. I think it's just a luck thing.
And something I'll always remember McCaffrey for, he kind of started the whole, I'm going to sit out for the bowl game. And I don't have a problem with it. I just remember.
That was an ugly one, yeah.
At the time, we're like, you're sitting out for your team's bowl game? Do you not care? And then sure enough, everybody started doing it around the college football landscape. But getting back on track here, Purdy, McCaffrey, Debo, and I could argue Ayuk had a stinker.
Ayuk
had a stinker last night, and obviously McCaffrey didn't play.
I'm not worried about it. It's hard to jump into it, but I don't think we should jump through hoops to determine what's going on with Ayuk because he hasn't played. And you could tell. All this has told you is that holding out, you're starting 3 weeks behind.
Right. And I think what I said, I know I'm more or less being a you-know-what, taking victory laps, saying, you should have took San Francisco. But you look at the players that didn't play at all last year and or missed out on training camp. They kind of all had stinkers of a week. I mean, Jamar Chase, what did he have? Like 3 catches for 35 yards?
I think it was like 6 for 60, but I could be wrong.
But still, that's not – and in crucial moments of the game, they're going to back up tight ends in the red zone rather than Jamar Chase because he wasn't there. Aaron Rodgers hasn't played in a year. He played kind of bad. Joe Burrow really hasn't played in a year. It's going to take a little bit to start that car.
Are the Niners the team to beat in the NFC?
Absolutely. And
you don't think there's a consideration with any other team?
There is a consideration, but they are the team to beat. They are the best team in the NFC right now. Right now, the Niners are there some teams, Colin, that can play the full season out and be right there at the end of the year? Hell, Detroit was there last year. MJ, who works with us, big Detroit guy. He screamed at me till he was blue in the face last night when I was, kind of poo-pooing his Lions a little bit.
Why?
But more or less, my take on Jared Goff. I don't think Goff is capable of going on a 2-minute drive to win a big game. I think the Lions have a good enough team to be able to be set up for success throughout the entire game, if that makes sense. Like, they could win a Super Bowl by 10. I don't think Goff, if he got the keys to the car, I don't think Goff could lead him down the field to score.
Why? He did it. He did it with Los Angeles. He's had success. The Rams, not the Rams. The pass interference game against New Orleans when they got screwed out of that.
The worst call in NFL history.
Hold on.
That was the worst call in NFL history.
Then the Saints got the ball in overtime. I understand. But then the Saints got the ball in overtime, blew it, and then Jared Goff won the game. There's your example.
He's single. All right. So the refs giving him a little help. And then let's not.
That was a lot.
Exactly. And then the refs, not the refs, Colin, the Super Bowl. He played that team out of the Super Bowl.
I mean, it was a 10-3.
He was terrible.
It was a 10-3
and
game.
He missed every throw in that Super Bowl. So, but yes, to answer your question, the Niners are the team to beat. I think the Lions are also right there. And I told you I like Dallas. I'm falling into the Dallas trap. I picked Dallas to win the division before the year. And I do think the NFC is deeper. I do think the NFC is deeper than it has been in years past.
Because of the Cowboys playing pretty well, I still think you have to keep Philadelphia in consideration. The Packers remain to be seen. Lions, we know how good they are.
Well, the Packers also with Love being out.
I think the Rams, I think there's a ton to see from the Rams. So off of that alone, that's a couple teams right there that if healthy, and that's a big if.
Big.
If healthy, those teams are going to be right in the mix whether with San Francisco or not, they're going to be in the mix in the postseason. Now, on the Jets side of things, do you think that was this a concerning loss for the Jets, or is this team that much better that almost it's like, hey, you lost to a really, really good team who has played together for a while and is coming off a Super Bowl loss? And, don't hang your heads on this type of game.
The defense played pretty well. I thought the Jets' defense played pretty well.
Well, I mean, the thing is,
they got gashed on the ground.
They were fine in the red zone. They couldn't stop them coming down the field. They couldn't stop them.
There were some plays where they did get gashed. Now,
they couldn't stop them coming down. It's ridiculous. The guy had 6 field goals.
Do you want to know what take I'm so tired of hearing? I am so tired of hearing the
all the Jets need is decent quarterback play, and they're going to win the division.
I'm so sick of that.
You love that voice.
I do, but I'm so sick of. I am so sick of that take. Joe Buck did it like 4 times last night. Well, guess what?
They got decent quarterback play last night,
and what did that get them? Rodgers wasn't bad. He wasn't good. He was decent. He got decent quarterback play, and you lost by multiple scores. And I could argue, if Kyle Shanahan didn't settle going for 3 on 4th and 2 on the Jets' 25, 30-yard line, I understand that's kind of what makes it different with a good head coach. A good head coach takes their points. That's the old saying. When it's 4th and 2 and you're on your 25, you're on your 20, you have a chance to put up points. If Shanahan went for it on those 4th and 2s, that game could have been like 48 to I mean, do you agree? They settled for like 4 or 5 field goals on 4th and short.
I'm not worried about that because ultimately this team is better than them. They're prepared more because they've played together and they have more talent. They were at home. It was Monday Night Football. Better head coach. They lost. I don't think this is anything to, this is nothing to write home to mom about.
I tried telling you guys last night.
I thought they would play a little better. I thought they'd be a little more motivated. And
everyone thought it was going to be a close game. Everyone was buying into the Rodgers hype. I understand that. And it's not that I'm out on Rodgers. I think Rodgers is going to be just fine this year. I think Rodgers is probably going to have a pretty good year. But he's not the MVP candidate he used to be. And I don't think you're going to be able to rely on him to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
It's entirely too early, I think, to make a decision like that. Entirely too early.
Fair play. That's just how I feel. If you are a Super Bowl contender, you need, besides Jared Goff, I know I've been hard on Jared Goff. The Lions are good enough all around to where that thing's going to work. With the Jets, I don't think it's a case of the Lions, if that makes sense. I do not think it's the case of the Lions.
I think they're held back by their coaching, which I think makes a big difference.
Agreed.
The Giants, the Lions have 3 head coaches on that coaching staff right now, with Aaron Glenn, Ben Johnson, and Campbell. That's 3 head coaches.
Right.
I'm not sure the Jets have 1. And I think that's going to be a deciding factor, and you got to be concerned about it. But I also don't think it's anything to, mail in everything and pack it up. I don't think that's the case.
You're not a Nathaniel Hackett guy?
He was a former Jag. No, I'm not a Nathaniel Hackett.
You're not a Nathaniel Hackett guy?
And I think Saleh is a little overrated, but Rodgers is the ultimate high ceiling quarterback.
By the way, I think Saleh is proper. I think he's properly rated. He's properly rated in the sense that he's not a good head coach and he still has a lot to prove.
Okay, well,
fair enough. Sure. Fair enough.
The fact that you're not a good head coach, you're not a good head coach, and you still have a job. That's where the Saleh excuse comes in.
Colin,
you're not a good head coach, you're gonna get fired, but he still has his job.
Right now, Saleh has not proved anything, and he has a lot to prove. And if I had to make a decision, I'd probably call him a bad head coach.
The thing about the Jets that makes it interesting is everybody screams wax poetic about Gardner, Quincy Williams, Quinnen Williams, C.J. Mosley, DJ Reed. Go down the list of all the great players that they have. Where were these guys yesterday?
Right.
But without
they got manhandled.
A drop touchdown from Ayuk, and an undrafted third-year guy who has had 70 total carries in his NFL career over 2 seasons goes for 30 carries and 150 yards. What happened then? And you want to say get beat. This is the defense that played together last year. This is not Rodgers.
Yep.
It's a little different for the offense because they're dealing with Rodgers for the first time because he's been in Egypt. The defense has played together. So I don't know what the excuse is on the defensive side of the ball. Rodgers will figure it out as long as he's healthy. I'm not terribly worried about him. But the defense, listen, you can't give that up. No. They got lucky that they had a couple stops down there in the red zone. This game would have been a whole lot worse if they opted for a couple touchdowns or if they got it. IU caught that. Go down the list. The fact that the Jets defense, who, one of the better defenses in the AFC has been lauded as, gave up that type of a performance, and Purdy's good. Let's bury that. Purdy's good, and he's going to get paid. Purdy's good. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, Russo and Rizzo here live, ESPN 106.3. Poll question is up. Of the teams in the NFC, who is the team that's going to contend with San Francisco? I think San Francisco, despite what you would think about the Lions, San Francisco is that team to beat still. Sorry. Best coaching. Best mix of talent and coaching and experience. Who is that team to beat? Is that going to be Detroit, the LA Rams, Eagles, Cowboys? Let us know at ESPN West Palm on X/Twitter. I'm still going to go with Twitter. Nonetheless, we'll get into some results of that. I want to panic, or I want to be patient with a number of 0-1 teams in the NFL. We'll get into that and more next. Listen to Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Is racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt really worth the 4-year degree? Not a lot of people think so anymore. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found that 56% of us believe that a skills-based education, that's a smarter investment than a 4-year degree. So why waste that time and money when there's an alternative right here in North Palm Beach that teaches the skills that people can actually use in today's world, and you can get those skills in just just months, not years. I'm talking about CSB Media Arts Center, the home of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which provides hands-on training in audio and video production, podcasting, sports broadcasting, social media marketing, filmmaking, coding, and so much more. For over 60 years, CSB has placed thousands of graduates and careers. Take a moment and visit gocsb.com to schedule a tour. That's gocsb.com.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Panic or patience? That will be the theme of today's show. Week 1 of the NFL has come and went. You got a bunch of 1-0s and a bunch of 0-1s. You're going to panic? You're going to be patient. Russo and Rizzo live here. Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, C-Cat helping us out behind the glass. ESPN 106.3 in West Palm Beach. Number getting into the show. 888-760-3776. That's 888-760-3776. Who is the team to beat San Francisco in the NFC? Detroit? LA? Vikings, maybe? I know we have a couple Vikings fans.
Bubba the Baker.
Vikings or the Eagles or the Cowboys? Who is the team to beat? 888-760-3776. Now, Riz, I want to ask you. I like how black and white it is this week because it's only 1-0 or 0-1.
Right.
I'm going to ask you to panic or be patient on every single 0-1 team that we have in the NFL.
Let's roll, baby.
All ready? Let's start with what we saw last night. New York Jets. Panic or be patient?
Be patient. I know I sit here and troll the Jets and, I told you guys free money, whatever. Be patient. The defense is good. I don't know if it's, like I said, to the level of, all you need is decent quarterback play, because I think if you are a Super Bowl contender, you must get good quarterback play. You must get good quarterback play in order to be a Super Bowl contender. I think the Lions are the only outlier on that. So, Colin, I say patience. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to piece together a decent enough season. I don't think they win the division. I think they're a fringe playoff team. Fair?
I agree. Be patient on the Jets. Patient on Baltimore, panic on Baltimore.
Patient, man.
I
Lamar
agree.
Jackson.
That's easy. Yeah,
Harbaugh's been there.
That's an easy one. Panic on Cincinnati or be patient on Cincinnati?
They always come on late. One thing I know about the Bengals, they always come on late. Now,
Burrow especially.
I'm worried about Burrow's wrist, though. I need to see Burrow be Burrow. Is that fair?
I would need to see wrist
Burrow be
worries
Burrow.
that you have seen. I haven't seen that specifically. But if Burrow's not healthy, I think you're going to find out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But Burrow's done this before.
And Chase, figure that out. That's a mess.
It takes them a couple weeks always to get rolling. I'm a patient on the Cincinnati side of things.
But get Chase right, too. All right? You gotta figure that out. He's your best player, probably outside of the quarterback position. I think him and Burrow are 1A, 1B. I think they're both equally important to the team. Figure that mess out.
Cleveland.
Oh, I'm panicking. I'm panicking.
I agree.
How can't you panic?
That's an easy panic. Especially with all the extracurricular stuff that has recently come out about Deshaun Watson. That's an easy panic.
Correct. And me being close to the situation, Colin, we got a great defense. We're going to be in games, but we look like a 6-7 win team that's going to lose a lot of close ones because of bad quarterback play.
Cleveland, both panic. I agree with that. Indianapolis, panic or patient?
Patient.
Good coach.
Patient. Good coach.
I don't know if I trust the quarterback yet, but
I don't trust him to stay healthy. Is that okay? I trust his on-the-field play. They lost to a good Houston team, and they gave that Houston team everything that they had. I'm going to be patient on Indianapolis.
Tennessee, panic or patient?
Oh, one of the worst teams in the NFL. Top three worst teams.
I would agree.
NFL.
Jacksonville, panic or patient?
I say patient, but I feel like I know where you're going on this.
I don't say panic yet. I'm close.
Okay.
And it's just because of Doug Peterson. I'm out on Doug Peterson. Forget Doug Peterson.
The Silver Fox?
Done.
I like him.
Done. He has been dodging blame for weeks, years. Out on Doug Peterson. But I think the team's got enough talent to win some games. We'll see what happens. I'm patient for now. Las Vegas Raiders, Panic or patient?
Our boss and content director, Brian Rowitz, big Raider fan. I'm panic. I'm sorry, Bri. I don't like your quarterbacks. I like Antonio Pierce. I think the head coach is in place. But you got to find that franchise quarterback. I think they need more quality.
They need everything.
They need more quality on defense. They need more skill players. Antonio Pierce will have them win 6 games, I think.
That's a panic, too. They just don't have talent. It's not like a panic. You just know this. They're not that good.
Right.
Denver, panic or patient?
I think panic. But listen, Sean Payton won how many games last year? 8?
7 or 8, yeah.
I think 8. He won 8 and 9 last year. I think it's under. That win total. I can't remember off the top of my head what Hard Rock Bet has them at, Kyle. But I would probably say under, and I would panic. I think Bo Nix could be the answer there, though. Give him a season.
I think it's early on Nix as well. I know Theo Dorsey was talking about how much he thinks he sucks. I think it's a little early, Theo, despite him being 24. I understand that. But Theo was basically ready to throw him to the wolves, and I disagreed with that assessment. I think that with Nix, it's not going to be pretty, but he has never won pretty in his entire life.
Right.
And this is what you signed up for when you draft Bo Nix.
Hold on. That's a tough game to play going to that stadium.
Yeah.
Agreed?
Yeah.
The 12th man in Seattle.
Yep. Washington, panic or patient?
Panic, but they have the quarterback.
I wouldn't say panic because they have the quarterback. Be patient. Giants, panic.
Panic.
Forget it.
Panic.
That team stinks. Oh my God.
Miserable.
And I kind of like Dable, too, which kind of, it sounds like he's going to be nailed for this. So is Shane. Oh, they're all done.
How you wanted Colin asked me why they're done.
Why are they done?
Because they hitched their wagon to Daniel Jones. I called this the minute it happened.
I also think the Saquon thing
it happened.
The Saquon thing's blowing up in their face as well. And he was a fan favorite. And if he has a great season with Philadelphia, I think it's going to be a major, major problem in the perspective of the fan.
Can we burn those jerseys? Those hurt the eyes.
Green Bay, panic or patient?
Well, panic because the quarterback's hurt. Their season's over if Jordan Love isn't right.
I'm a hold. This is the only hold I have.
No. The game is, Colin, you're doing what I did when I was, you can't do that. You got to go, you got to pick a side. You're not following,
patient.
Okay.
1 and 3, they're okay.
I'm panicking, brother.
Carolina, panic. They're bad, and you know they're going to be that. Still panic. That team's a mess.
All right, my 3 worst teams in the NFL: Carolina, New England. I don't care that they won, and Tennessee.
What about the Giants? Giants are better than New England's worse.
They'd
than
give
the
them a game. I think the Bengals had a lot going on.
Atlanta, panic or patient?
Why am I panicking?
I'm a easy patient here.
I'm panicking. I think Tampa Bay I picked Tampa Bay to win that division. I think Tampa Bay is better than them. I also think the Saints are better than them. That was an ugly football game against the Steelers. And don't give me the Steeler defense in the Mike Tomlin way. That team stinks too. They kicked a bunch of field goals and had 18 points in the game.
I think that you're seeing another example of somebody who's not that participant, not a big participant in the preseason. And it's going to take a little bit. And I'm a little nervous about Cousins' Achilles, and he's old, but he doesn't need to be that mobile. They have a lot of talent offensively. I think this is going to be a feeling out process. I'm a patient for now on the Atlanta side of things. The LA Rams 0-1. This is way patient.
Both of us are patient.
Yep. Arizona. I'm patient as well.
I'm going to panic just because.
Arizona.
I'm going to panic.
Why?
I like the coach. I think Kyler will get hurt. They'll win 6 or 7 games.
They played a tough game.
You think they could win 8 or 9 games this year? I don't. I think they win 5 or 6 games.
Watch them they were played underrated, and they played in a tough game. That is not an easy game to play.
They're in quarterback purgatory. Kyler looked sharp in the first half, but Kyler did what he did. Go ahead.
When Kyler's available, I think you know what you're going to get. They paid him because they know what they're going to get. You're going to get the waddling around at high speeds that he does when he's out of the pocket. He's got, the short legs. It's like almost like a toddler running. But nonetheless, he's really fast. And he used Marvin Harrison. They didn't even use him. And they played pretty well.
They didn't. And
so because of that, call me a patient. I think they play hard for Gannon just off of that.
There are a couple of teams that are in quarterback purgatory, like the Saints, the Raiders, right? The Seahawks.
They're just going to be in the market for one. And the Saints it's not a pressing need because Carr can get you through a season as long as he's healthy. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they love the fact that Murray is what he is now after that big contract, but nonetheless, that big contract is a bargain at this point. That's how the quarterback market works. All right, interesting. I think we should do this together. Our Tuesday top 5. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Let's do this together. Who's our 1?
It's got to be Kansas City, right? I either put them or the Niners.
They've shown no reason for us to demote them. Kansas City is number 1. Tuesday power ranking top 5 NFL teams in the league. Tuesday top 5. Let's go. Russo and Rizzo. Kansas City's our number 1. Number 2.
Can I have the Niners? I picked them to win the Super Bowl. I think they're the best team in the NFC. I think they proved last night that even though they're not going to play a pretty game, like, Colin, we both agreed. They probably could have scored more points, but they still took care of business against what a lot of people thought could be a Super Bowl contender in the Jets. I would probably put the Niners, but I'm open for interpretation if you don't want to put them.
Again, I don't think we saw a lot of reason for the Niners to be moved out, and I think that's a bigger thing. We know how good Detroit looked. I think Detroit's an easy 3. Niners are my 2. Would you agree with this?
Agreed. It's Kansas City and the Niners right now.
Detroit's our 3. Niners are our 2. Kansas City is our 1. Here's where it gets interesting.
Can I make a play for 4?
You going to go Dallas?
It has to be. And I know we're all down on my Brownies. Watson stinks. The season's over. Oh, but that Cowboy front 7 looked legit. CeeDee Lamb looked like he didn't lose a step after 1 week of practice. Dak Prescott looked very
Cowboys
sharp.
Are the Cowboys. That's my problem.
But they win 12 or 13 games every year. This is week 1 power rankings.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't end of the year power rankings. This isn't heading into the playoff power ranking.
All right. That's fine.
5.
I'm fine with that.
Pick 5.
Tampa Bay.
Wow. I did not expect that.
How about that?
I love, dude. You got to sell me.
They deserve it.
I'm a Baker bro
Tampa
now.
Bay. Miami does not deserve it. Don't get me started. New England does not deserve it. Don't get me started. Buffalo does not deserve it. Don't get me started. Pittsburgh, forget it. Houston, forget it.
Houston, come on.
Forget it.
It's a tough game.
Forget it.
Good team. But
Chargers, I don't want to hear it. Philadelphia had plenty of issues. Minnesota, I'd take an argument.
No, stop.
I know. Chicago, no. New Orleans played the worst. I swear to God, Ashley, our new intern, her team could beat the Carolina Panthers. By the
way,
football could beat them.
To open the curtain up a little bit, Ashley plays flag football at Kaiser.
They could beat the Panthers.
She plays flag football, one of the best in the country.
They could beat the Panthers.
Come on. That's a low blow, Colin.
That's how bad the Panthers were. So, not Seattle. Who does it lead you? Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Sign me up. It's either them or the Rams.
We had a saying in Cleveland, if you backed Baker, it was the Baker Bros. Colin, I'm a Baker bro now.
Oh, God.
I'm a Baker bro. Let's go, bro.
I want to ask Mike Tannenbaum, see what he thinks about that. We got him coming on in just a few short minutes.
He couldn't stand Baker in Cleveland. Could not stand him. He would put Brown fans in the tizzy.
Huh. I can't wait to get his thoughts on that.
He hated – it's not that he hated Baker. He always was quick to point out that he didn't think Baker was a franchise quarterback. And I was with him. What did he do?
We're going to open with that.
What did he do? My question, though, what did he do in Cleveland to prove that he was a franchise quarterback?
He won a playoff game.
Fair enough. Hey, you know what? Hey, Colin. Touche.
What a playoff game.
Touche.
Not a lot of Browns quarterbacks can say that.
But that whole thing ended ugly. You could agree. That whole situation,
Totally.
He played hurt. He was immature.
A lot of me is under the impression that Baker needed that whole quarterback carousel year and a half to really grow as a person and a player. So because of that, that's just the way life goes. It wasn't the perfect marriage. It was the proper divorce. He had a good second marriage.
Colin, just a bunch of Baker bros.
Talk to ESPN NFL insider and front office insider Mike Tannenbaum next. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo live here at ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey guys, I got some good news and I got some bad news. First, the bad news. There's no such thing as a miracle pill or supplement to bring back the testosterone you had in your 20s. But now the good news. Andrologix Health in West Palm Beach. Been treating and beating low T for over 20 years. Lab work and a telemedicine evaluation is all it takes to see if testosterone replacement therapy is right for you. So get started today. Visit andrologix.com. That's ANDROLOGIX.com. Andrologix Health. Experience matters.
Banyan Printing, your trusted printing, mailing, and signage partner in the Palm Beaches for over 45 years. Banyan Printing's new metallic ink press adds that extra shine so that your product comes out in glossy gold, sparkling silver, or any other color you want to shine. Banyan Printing is the official printer of Kaiser Athletics and would love to be your official printing partner as well. Order products and learn more about what Banyan Printing can do for your business at banyanonline.com or call 561-586-6220.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen with great news. It's officially football season on ESPN 106.3. Coming up next, Tua and the Miami Dolphins kick off Week 2, hosting Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Thursday night, pregame is at 6:15, following a special extended episode of Russo and Rizzo.
Any business that wants to get to the top and stay there requires a dedicated team to implement a winning game plan. Eisner-Amper's seasoned professionals provide business advisory and consulting services, such as audit, accounting, tax, HR, outsourcing, and more. Eisner-Amper business advisors help clients transform their companies, build capital, innovate processes, and mitigate risk. For industry-specific strategies that meet your needs in South Florida, make Eisner-Amper part of your solution. Visit EisnerAmper.com/solution.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
It's your boy JC on the brand new Questionable Call with Josh Cohen, up right now on YouTube. We now know exactly why the Tyreek Hill situation happened. Brand new videos out, and we got it. Subscribe now to Questionable Call with Josh Cohen exclusively on YouTube. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch the most live NFL games all in one place. Which means you can watch the Rams, and the Colts, and the Vikings, and the Bengals, and the Buccaneers, and the Chargers. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Rolling on here on a Tuesday afternoon with a special guest joining us, Russo and Rizzo, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, C-Cat joining us behind the glass, ESPN 106.3. downtown West Palm Beach at the City Place Studios. I'd like to welcome in a very special guest who's going to be joining us weekly. I'd like to welcome in former Jets general manager, former executive vice president of football operations for the Miami Dolphins, and current NFL ESPN insider, Mike Tannenbaum, joining us now. Mike, welcome to the program. How you doing today?
Welcome, Mike.
Hey, great to be with you guys. Congratulations on this awesome opportunity that's well-deserved for both of you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Mike. Yeah, I appreciate that. Rolling in here, couple quarterback things you want to get your thoughts on, but more importantly, Jets last night losing to the Niners. It was, I guess all you could say is ugly. Hassan Reddick, nowhere to be seen. In terms of from a front office perspective, are you in a panic mode if you're in the Jets? Are you calm here? Are you, in terms of coaching, Reddick, nowhere to be seen. Rodgers, you don't know what you're going to get. What's your perspective from the cloud perspective that the front office has on the Jets and how they started off the year?
Yeah, really disappointing. Look, if the three of us were running the Jets, we'd say, boy, the best time to play the 49ers would be when their left tackle missed all of training camp, Brandon Ayuk missed all of camp. They're arguably their best receiver. And, oh, by the way, Christian McCaffrey, who may be the best non-quarterback of the NFL, is out. And, they control the line of scrimmage handily. So, they're missing John Franklin Myers. They're missing Bryce Huff. And, obviously, they're missing Hassan Reddick. And that really showed up last night. So that was a very disappointing loss. It's one thing to lose to another team. It's another thing when their backup running back look, Tennessee's looking at that tape today, guys. They play him, in 5 days. And I promise you, they may not even activate Will Levis. They're going to run the ball 80 times and prove the Jets are going to have to prove that they could stop the run.
Flipping it on over to Rodgers, Mike, it was last night's game a case of getting the cobwebs off, or do you think he could ever get back to like an MVP form?
Yeah, that was like an interesting evaluation. There were a couple throws that you saw the greatness, the anticipation, the accuracy that, has made him a legendary player. But we also saw, candidly, not as quick as he once was. And he knows his football mortality. And, 1/10 of a second can make all the difference in the world. So what's going to happen is he's going to have to throw opposing defenses out of coverages where they're crowd the line of scrimmage because, they know that's where his limits are. So I think they can win with this version of Aaron Rodgers. I don't see MVP Aaron Rodgers, but I see still a good functioning quarterback.
Mike, do you rate the Jets? That's my next question. I personally think this is a team that's going to be flirting with 8 or 9 wins and a possible wild card berth. I'm interested to see how high you rate the Jets this year.
Yeah, I think any sort of calculus around that comes with a very good defense, and we didn't see that last night. And again, one of the things that the NFL makes you do every week is, can you make the adjustments? Can you fix what was wrong? And we're going to see a Tennessee team, Brian Callahan, his father, legendary offensive line coach Bill Callahan. They're going to run the ball with Tony Pollard, and this is an important game because the Jets play Sunday in Tennessee, and then their home opener is against New England. And, we already saw what Ramondre Stevenson did to Cincinnati's defense. So, to me, for the Jets to get to that 8-9 win game, their defense has to play much better.
Joined here by ESPN NFL insider Mike Tannenbaum, joining Russo and Rizzo live, on ESPN 106.3. Mike, I want to jump to the other team that plays in MetLife, the New York Giants. From a front office perspective, I don't think there's a team in as big of a hole as the Giants find themselves in with the contractual obligations that are attached to Daniel Jones, but also how poorly, straight up, all throughout that they have played. What is your reaction to how the Giants started the year? Is Shane going to survive this, in your opinion, the general manager of the Giants? And where do you even go from here, now that you're stuck with Daniel Jones the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the offseason, guys. Look, if the three of us were running the Giants and I said, hey, 5% of our cap has to go to Saquon Barkley, who's a really good player, high character leader, I think that's a decision we'd all feel comfortable with. And at $12.5 million a year on a $255 million cap, that's what we're looking at, roughly, 5% of their resources. So I think the best version of Daniel Jones is one with Saquon Barkley. So that's a decision to me that I just substantively didn't understand. And, now, everything is about Daniel Jones. He's got to play, be or better, because the strength of this team is Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns. But, nobody's going to have to they're not going to throw the ball in the fourth quarter, unless they have to. So they have to play much more complementary football. Interesting game this week. They go down to the nation's capital for Jaden Daniels' first home game, who I thought played well in a loss to Tampa Bay. And I think it could get late early here for the New York Giants.
It has to be the last year for Daniel Jones there, right, Mike?
Barring something unforeseen, yes. But, look, I'm not second-guessing here. I said this, during the draft, before the draft, but three quarterbacks won the first round when the Giants could have taken Michael Penix, J.J. McCarthy, or Bo Nix. And Malik Neighbors is obviously a talented receiver, the player they took, but I'm still hard-pressed to understand why they would have passed on all three of those quarterbacks.
Yeah, questioning a questionable draft process for Shane. To be, in my opinion, and you probably shouldn't say anything. I know you still have connections within the front. I don't think he's going to survive something like this, based on how everything is going to be handled. I think the Giants fans are just going to be done with it. But nonetheless, another thing that's coming up. I don't want to get too into the details. Cleveland now. Disastrous start. Mike Rizzo here is a big Cleveland fan.
From Cleveland, Mike.
Deshaun Watson played as bad as you could possibly imagine. And on top of this, now you got the off-field stuff that is re-rising with, frankly, more concerning allegations against Watson. They're a team that, are they going to be able to get past this? Talent up out the wazoo. Will they be able to survive something like this? What's your take on Cleveland Browns now that they're stuck, again, with Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, it's a concern from a standpoint. They got to the playoffs with Joe Flacco, and now you got Deshaun Watson back. And obviously, there is another allegation that has to be taken very seriously. But from a football salary cap standpoint, he has another $92 million fully guaranteed. So he's got to play better for them, for them to have any hope, candidly, like this year or next.
Mike, is this going to be the worst contract in NFL history when it's all said and done?
Unfortunately, it could be in that discussion, the trade, the contract. They have no wiggle room, guys. That's the problem. They can't get out from under it. It's fully guaranteed. They have no flexibility. And again, Joe Flacco played better for them last year. Candidly, it's not even close. When you look at, now look, it's one game, but Deshaun Watson just doesn't look like the same player.
So I should be scouting Jackson Arnold and Nico I over at Tennessee, Mike?
Yeah, Jackson Dart and Carson Beck and Shedeur Sanders, no question about it.
Wow. Well, let me ask you this. You mentioned his name, Shedeur Sanders. Talk about a guy who's been in the headlines for the wrong reasons. I have my own problems with Colorado and how Deion runs his whole thing, but Shedeur Sanders leaving the field early against Nebraska with 2 minutes to go, and then he goes post-game and talking about, hey, how many times did Dylan Raiola, the Nebraska quarterback, get hit? And he's talking about he's got the deals with the watch companies, and he's got the music, and essentially has been every distraction you could possibly imagine, on top of throwing his teammates under the bus. Do you even look at this guy? To me, I'm out on it. I don't think the talent shows that you can oversee that type of thing. What's your take on Shedeur Sanders coming out of Colorado as an NFL prospect?
Yeah, the old coach Parcells, like the quarterback position is a battlefield commander. When things go well, it's because of your teammates. When things go wrong, it's your fault. So I think he'll learn from that. He is talented. He can make all the throws.
He's got the baggage.
Obviously, yeah, you do worry, too, about, him getting hit in his frame. But the talent's there, and, look, he has a chance to be a first-round quarterback, and hopefully he'll learn from, some of those things that happened in Nebraska.
And do you think the Deion thing being attached and whether Deion will try to call some shots or get involved? Because I assume Deion's out after Shedeur and Travis Hunter are out. Do you have any concern in that regard?
Well, I mean, it is what it is. You could try to call all the shots you want. Caleb Williams tried to get some things in his contract this year. He couldn't. Some of those quarterbacks didn't want to go to certain teams, but at the end of the day, there's only 32 of these opportunities.
Mike, circling back around to the NFL, who was your biggest winner of Week 1? Who is your biggest winner of Week 1 around the National Football League?
Stephanie Prince to put this unbelievable show together.
We appreciate it, Mike.
I believe it's the second shout for Stephanie Prince.
We do.
Our general manager.
Yeah, by the way, Theo forgot she was our GM. How about that?
Theo did not know she was the GM of the station, Mike. So Theo's in trouble in that, in hot water.
No, I would say I'll go with Gerard Mayo. Look, he's replacing a legend. I think it's going to be a pretty challenging year for New England, but on opening day, guys, to go in and beat Joe Burrow in Cincinnati, that's really quite an accomplishment.
What about Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay making that much of a statement, going 1-0 out of the quarterback the quarterback play is not very good in the NFL at the moment. I think Baker Mayfield is amongst the best performances that we have seen so far this year in terms of a quarterback position. Baker, bit of a resurgence here. It's got to make the Browns fans sting a little bit.
Hey, watch it, Colin.
I think there's a lot to like about what he did. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I agree. And then you throw in a very reasonable contract. He's a good player. Like, look, he's athletically, deficient, and that certainly shows up from time to time relative to, when he has to scramble. But, with Godwin and Evans, this is a team that's won the division 3 times in a row. Very much under the radar, smaller market. They have a really good coach who draws no attention to himself. But look, he's 4 short hours across the state from us, and he does a great job. And they're going to be a team, I think they're going to be able to go in and beat Detroit. It's a big game for them. It's a revenge game this week. And I think Baker I don't think he's an A, but I think he's a solid B.
Mike, you mentioned Detroit. Is Jared Goff an A? He's a B, right?
He's probably like a B plus in that system. They run the ball so effectively, right, and the play action works. I work with Ben Johnson in Miami. And look, that line's really phenomenal. Look what happened in overtime. The great teams are the ones that say, hey, we're going to run the ball. Here we come, and you still can't stop us. And essentially that's what David Montgomery did.
Speaking of Miami, Jacksonville-Miami game, I just got to get this out. Mike, what a disaster of a second half from Doug Peterson and co. Trevor Lawrence played pretty well, and he played well in that first half. I wanted to get your reaction to that. They blew that game. Doug Peterson was not good to the media on Monday. And to me, he went after the defense when the defense actually played well. I think Miami's overrated. I think Jacksonville is Jacksonville like they always are. And I think Doug Peterson gets hurt a little bit from how he's handling the Jacksonville Jaguars as of late. What's your take?
One of the strangest sequences you'll ever see in a game, guys. It's 17-7. Jacksonville's completely in control. Travis Etienne's on the 2. Javon Holland makes a great play, punches the ball out.
Great play.
If they score a touchdown, it's 24-7. But literally on the next play, Tyreek Hill, 80-yard touchdown, and goes from 24-7 to 17-14, and then the rest is history with how the game ended. And those are the games that Jacksonville, they have to score there. Etienne has to take better care of the ball. And I do think there's some nuances in Trevor Lawrence's game. We saw the touchdown last night, Aaron Rodgers on the hard count to Lazard. There was an opportunity at the end of the third quarter where Trevor Lawrence could use the hard count. I think there's just more development there for him. A couple of times Christian Kirk had a big third down drop. And,
Twice.
That can't happen when you want to beat a good team on the road.
Mike T, when are we getting you here live in studio, brother?
I'd love to. I'm waiting for Colin to invite me. So,
listen. There's a Rizzo portion of this, so Rizzo is officially inviting you in studio, partner.
I appreciate
Mike T
that.
travels a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
So is Colin dead to us? Is that what we're saying?
It's to be determined, right? It's to be. You tell me. You tell me, Mike.
Mike, the door's going to be locked if you come to the studio. I'll tell you that. The door's going to be locked. That's Mike Tannenbaum, NFL Insider. I appreciate you giving us some time on this Tuesday afternoon. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk next time.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Tannenbaum, NFL Insider, former Jets GM, former Executive Vice President of Football Operations for the Miami Dolphins, joining us. Russo and Rizzo, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, C-Cat helping us out behind the glass. We'll finally talk to C-Cat. I know he has a vow of silence the first hour of every show. He can't
very
say it
angry.
Yet.
He's very angry
He has
today.
a vow of silence first hour of every show. I want to get some thoughts on him next. But first, I want to tell you about our pals over at Hard Rock Bet. Sports betting legal in Florida on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sports betting app. Never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. People in Florida can now bet on football in the start of the season. Unlike last year, bet on this week's games. You could even bet on the futures. You could bet on the divisions. You could bet on the conferences. You could bet on the player props. You could bet on whatever you want. Try Hard Rock Bet now. Get up to $100 back if your first bet does not win. Your first bet can be parlays, props, overs, more. It is up to you. Any game you choose. Try Hard Rock Bet today. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. I'm going to get into some 5 at 5 action next. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
The quality of our choices affects the quality of our lives. So, when it comes to how you move, do you choose to see a doctor or go to the #1 orthopedic specialist in the world, backed by a team who custom tailor your treatment? Do you choose to live with limitations or live life to the fullest by going to the place that's #1 at getting people back to what they love? Choose better, move better. Locations in West Palm Beach and Wellington. Learn more at hss.edu/Florida.
ESPN 1063, your home for Miami Dolphins football.
Tua looking downfield and a touchdown to Reek.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you could drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Time now for a PNC pause. PNC Bank is committed to making a difference in the lives of the customers they serve in the South Florida community. See how at PNC.com. You're listening to ESPN 1063.
The annual Boca Raton Bowls ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group, heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join me, Theo Dorsey, with ESPN West Palm at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, and cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today.
It's your boy JC on the brand new Questionable Call with Josh Cohen, up right now on YouTube. We now know exactly why the Tyreek Hill situation happened. Brand new videos out, and we got it. Subscribe now to Questionable Call with Josh Cohen exclusively on YouTube. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Ball into the bucket, lays it up and in.
Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 1063.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Woo! The dogs are out and ready to play. It's Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 1063. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo. Our vow of silence producer,
it's like
reluctant producer, C-Cat joining us now. We're going to get into our 5 and 5 in a minute. You know what I think is funny?
What's funny, Colin?
I love...
Probably isn't funny.
No, this is great.
It's pretty
how
funny.
Every second, you see how that? He's
already mad. He's already mad.
This is great. Hold on. This is great. You know what's the best part? People at home who are listening can't understand this, but whenever we're in a commercial break and we have 3 to 4 minutes, I'll tell you one thing. Mike and I take advantage.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
We go for a lap around the studio. We'll get caught up in a couple conversations.
Talk to Brian. Talk to MJ.
We'll talk to whoever wants to indulge in what the hell we're doing.
One of these days, I'm just going to hear.
And it's always C-Cat who has his eye on the production thing and knows when we're coming back. He goes, hey, what are you doing? Get back here. Like he's herding in a bunch of dogs just at the late night to protect the cattle.
You guys got to get your eye on the ball. You're hosting Drive Time.
Come on.
In a top sports market in the country.
I'm not saying.
And you're wandering around, scooting the bleep with everybody. Come on, you got a job to do. 2 hours a day.
We're doing the job. It's a matter of, I think we just take advantage of our commercial breaks and it pisses him off.
Oh, big time. Big time, because he's got to stay in there.
You have to come hail us.
Just, it's a C-Cat. Next time, just...
Like calling in the neighborhood kids that dinner's ready, that type of thing, you know?
I'm going to start getting physical. I'll be honest. I'm going to start hitting people.
Put us in a headlock.
Like, come on.
You put me in a headlock?
Our reluctant producer of this very program, C-Cat, what is your favorite part of the week? What is your least favorite part of the week? Is it producing the show?
I don't know. Some people say it's directly between the hours of 4 and 6 p.m. I've never said that.
Wow.
Never have said that before.
You know what? I heard they had to bolt him to a chair to produce this show the first day.
So when they came to you saying, hey, we're going to have the new show, new lineup, theoretically speaking, of course, which you have already been producing, is going to expand 2 to 4. You're like, great. Sounds good. Love expanding the show.
Hang on. Co-hosting, too.
Co-hosting. Essentially. You're essentially a co-host
You're
on
a
that
co-host.
show.
Come on.
And then they go, hey, we got a new one coming in. 2 guys, Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo. You're going to produce that one. And you're like, oh, no.
I said, oh, great. Are they do they need Adderall? Because it seems like you guys need Adderall on the air or off the air.
We don't need Adderall.
You need to focus in on the task at hand.
You know what Mama Rizzo said? Adderall is a bunch of poison. You're not putting my son on that. Second grade, Mrs. Brewer, true story.
That explains a lot.
You had a second grade teacher say you need Adderall?
Correct. They want to put me on Adderall.
Wait, I don't think that you can do that.
My mother, you
second
can.
grade?
You definitely can.
You can put a second grader?
My mother.
You're like 9 years old. You're going to put a 9-year-old on a focus drug?
My mother had choice words for Mrs. Brewer.
What a load of crap. That's totally not true.
Exactly, right? Isn't that ridiculous?
Popping a Xan.
Yeah, this kid needs to calm down. I think we should prescribe a Valium.
Right, that's what I mean.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, my mother cussed Mrs. Brewer out up and down, and that was
So this was the second
Adderall.
grade teacher's fault for even considering this, that you should be on Adderall?
Well, I guess my mother, and honestly, I really don't believe in Adderall. I refuse to take it. I think it's poison as well. But
you think it's poison? Poison how?
It's just bad for you.
Poison
makes
for
you
the brain?
not eat. Makes you not eat.
Oh, does
changes your
psyche? I don't know enough about that.
Yeah.
Do you think you need it? It needs something
C-Cat, I probably could use it.
I think you both could extremely benefit from something that helps you focus, whether it's medical or not.
We are lasered focus right now.
Opposite.
Colin, I am lasered focused. The fact that I got laughed off the air by both you guys, not necessarily you, but by C-Cat for saying the Niners were free money last night.
I'm more blown away that a second grade teacher
tried to put me on
went
Adderall.
to your mother and said, we should put this kid on some drugs.
Right, yeah. They wanted
Who do you think you are?
She wanted to put me on Adderall. My mother, customed out to Kingdom Come.
The kid's got a yelling problem. I think we should slip him a few Xanax and calm him down a little bit towards the latter. What the hell is that?
And I always got good grades, too. I was just always a class jokester.
Could have sold the pills in study hall. That would have worked.
To the other second graders?
Yeah.
C-Cat, I knew a guy that, would do that in high school.
You knew a drug dealer?
Probably.
Someone tried to, I had a shoulder surgery.
Colin, sober for 3 years. Probably sober for 3 years.
Yeah.
Probably sober for 3 years, man. I've seen a thing.
Yeah, this guy had a side gig by selling drugs. Oh.
The Adderall that the other second graders.
Someone tried to buy Percocets from me once because I had them for my shoulder surgery. Like they were legitimate.
For painkilling purposes?
I did not sell them to them. I have morals. I did not give him
It's a moral thing.
Yes, he was going to resell them. I said, no, pal.
Well, we know he has morals. I mean, he took a vow of silence for the 4 o'clock hour.
Talk about morality. What are the conviction?
Chivalry. Like when a knight says, do you watch? You're not a Star Trek guy. Like the Klingons are big in honor. Like Seacat made this. Seacat made this pact that he's not going to talk in the 4 o'clock hour, and it's going to go against his honor. And he wouldn't be an honorable man if he,
Yeah, sue me. I think the 2 co-hosts can carry the show. What do you want me to say?
I think it's better when Seacat's involved. I don't know. I think more the merrier.
Who bothers you more?
Me. Not even close.
You got it today.
You can be honest.
Not even close.
I was busy this early afternoon before we went local on air, and I get this bleep-eating grin of Rizzo. Got something to say? Got something to say? Slap in the back. Like, dude, I'm doing real work in here. I don't have time to talk about the game last night, Riz.
Hey, man.
You laughed me off.
Laughed me off the air yesterday.
You laughed me off.
Free money.
So
the Niners were free money.
And then on this way out, he goes, Ohio!
This is old Ohio State.
So right now in the power rankings of Russo and Rizzo, Rizzo's at 2. Rizzo is at 2.
I'm rock
Russo
bottom.
number 1.
I'm rock bottom. It's all right. Wouldn't be the first time.
All it takes is one day.
Let's get to the 5 at 5. Let's go to number 1.
Number 1.
The Steelers announced today they are preparing Justin Fields to be the starter versus the Broncos next week. Is Russell Wilson going to start a game for the Steelers?
I'm going to assume yes. What Fields showed you is that, guess what? Like, he can make a minimal amount of mistakes with making a minimal amount of plays, and they can manage to win. Tomlin is trying to inch past every game. They're the Iowa of the NFL this year. That's what they are. They are the Iowa. They're trying to figure it out week by week. They got a great defense. TJ Watt is a primal defensive talent. That's the thought process. They won. Don't mess if it's good. Win ugly. We don't care. That's what the Steelers do.
I'm with Colin. He'll probably start a game just because, just what did Justin Fields do this past week to make you go, oh, you can't put in Wilson? That didn't happen. That moment never happened. Could it happen against the Broncos? Maybe. I mean, I like Raheem Morris. I think he's going to be a head coach in Atlanta. I think that thing has some years to go still. But I'm not writing home about that defense. Are you? That wasn't
what defense?
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I'm not rating them as a top 10 defense in the NFL. So no, I do think Russell Wilson is going to start a game. I don't think Fields is going to have one of those games that goes, oh, you can't put him in. So that's where I'm at with this. I'm not sold on Pittsburgh. That team's going nowhere.
Number 2.
Number 2.
Former Michigan players Braylon Edwards and Denard Robinson, blast from the past. They are suing the NCAA for north of $50 million because of how players getting paid for NCAA college football 25. They want to get some money in their pockets too. Should they get paid?
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I'm with Colin.
Life.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. What do you expect him to do? The NCAA is just going to write you a check for what? You haven't played in 10 years. What difference? 15 years.
If the NCAA admits they were wrong by changing the ruling with NIL,
if they admit they were, the lawsuit states that it's only they're in doing it on behalf of all the Michigan players before 2016. So that means only Michigan guys should get this settlement of $50 million.
Michigan men, they're smart guys.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing in the world. It's like, I think Dartmouth sued the NCAA for the scholarship thing, the basketball team, a year or two ago. So it's going to go nowhere. These guys are broke. They need some money, and they're going to go to the NCAA and try to salvage, some of the $1 billion profits that they get. It's a waste of time.
I'll say this. The NCAA cannot win any lawsuit. So maybe there is some kind of settlement. The NCAA has a real problem with losing lawsuits.
I don't disagree, but there's a precedent with the Michigan itself. Are you going to give it to everybody else?
Colin, it seems like they're scrapping for money. Do you want to know what I remember these two the most about? Being losers against Ohio State.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Evan Cohen, the godfather of ESPN West Palm.
My guy!
Every single day. Damn day.
I am proud. Listen, I am... Unlike Colin, I am proud to do the show in the Evan Cohen studios every day. Thank you, Evan.
That's true. Yeah, Colin has said really disparaging remarks.
Colin is like this weird
what's the
rivalry
Mount
with Evan.
what's
dude.
the Mount Rushmore of ESPN West Palm?
Gotta go.
Ryan Rowitz is on it. I think
Agreed.
he is Roosevelt on
Hold
the
on,
end.
no. Our fearless leader is Steve Politzine.
Getting crowded already.
Yeah, it's a crowded room. Politziner's on it. Rowitz is on it. I'll put Stephanie Prince on it. I think Stephanie Prince is probably
Agreed.
the Thomas Jefferson right there, right in the middle.
Evan's on it, bro. Evan's on it.
Who's number 4?
Evan. It's not even close.
I got an answer.
J-Mart? Are you saying J-Mart?
It's J-Mart.
Oh, man.
J-Mart's one of our
Tough.
tenured MCs. He's on it.
No, Evan built this place, bro.
I'm going to move on because nobody listening knows what we're talking about. Evan Cohen.
Evan Cohen's not on it.
He's on it.
Unsportsmanlike every single day on ESPN 106.3, 6 to 10 a.m.
You do the plug. I'll just say he's not on it.
Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, just my favorite programming. I actually set an alarm. I wake up my girlfriend and say, hey, babe, wake up. Evan Cohen's on.
The alarm is unsportsmanlike.
You guys are too hard on Evan, man.
I love Evan. I just love
We're
giving
in
him-
this studio because of that guy.
I give him a tough time.
I'm not hard on him at all. There's all these shots being taken by one person here. I am the one that's praising right now. So what's that? No, I'm not being looped in with him.
What is this rivalry that him and Evan got? I don't understand it.
What is that? What was number 3?
Evan Cohen
We didn't
asks.
get to finish.
Yeah.
Cohen
Number
asks,
3.
who's the most recognizable voice in sports? Who is it?
My lifetime, it's either Costas or Joe Buck. That's just me. John Madden was a little before me. Cosell was a little before me. Musburger was a little before me. I think those guys watching a live game feels like a big game, and you recognize the voice instantly. It's got to be. I mean, unless you want to go personality, you could go like somebody like Barkley, Charles Barkley on TNT. In terms of play-by-play guy, a guy who's an announcer, Buck Costas.
I got a couple here. Jim Nantz, number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Jim
don't know.
Nantz, number
He's
1.
a great announcer, but the voice is not that different.
He would. For me, it is. I guess. I got Nantz. I'm with you. I got Buck, and then my third one, you're going to be a little surprised, but I got Stephen A. Smith. I got Stephen A. I love Stephen A.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm with you, dude, because we're not talking about the most recognizable by sports fans, because sports fans know sports broadcasters, but non-sports fans and sports fans alike recognize Stephen A. and recognize that voice.
I don't. Shaq.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shaq's. Not only can you pick him physically out of a crowd because he's just a mammoth of a person, but the voice too. It's just that's Shaq's voice.
True.
But I agree, Stephen A. is probably up there. 'Cause Stephen A. is a celebrity. He's a celebrity.
Shaq, who Colin called the 5th best big man of all time, by the way. But
no,
story
not
for
number.
another
He's
day.
probably number 3. Number 3 or 4.
Speaking of number 4.
Number 4.
Segue.
Talk about it all day on ESPN 106.3. The 49ers dominated last night's Monday Night Football matchup against the Jets. Which NFC team is the biggest threat to dethrone the Niners in the NFC?
Our poll question. Biggest threat to dethrone the Niners? We didn't answer it. Or at least maybe we did.
Start us off, Steve.
Detroit, Dallas, Eagles, Tampa Bay, if you want to include it. But the Rams, I think the biggest threat to them, my God, that's my Super Bowl pick. Probably Detroit. It's a cookie cutter answer, but Detroit's got the most talent. They can match up with them in every lineup of the field. They got 3 head coaches on that staff. But Tampa Bay is my number 2.
Wow. Colin didn't even pick him to win the division.
Mike Evans is a Hall of Fame receiver. He's had a great career. I'm so impressed with
Colin
Mike Evans.
picked Atlanta to win this division, by the way.
Yeah, I'm changed.
Hey, it's on paper.
been
Now it's
1
not.
week.
It's not on paper anymore. We saw a game.
It's been 1 week.
I love Mike Evans. What a career he's had. What say you, Mike?
I got Dallas. I got Dallas and then Detroit. I'm buying Dallas. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid.
You know what would be really bad?
I am. I can't say. I'm a miserable Browns fan. They wrecked us at home. I loved our defense.
You know, it would be great if the Dallas got stunk the rest of the year.
They'll win the division.
What if they stink and that Browns loss just looks that much worse?
I think we're a good enough defense to where they just played very well and they're a good football team. I know Watson was awful. The offensive line was awful for the Brownies, but I think we could win 7 or 8 games.
Eagles look good. That's a good Packers team.
Yeah. Colin bought stock in the Eagles. I believe you picked the Eagles to win the division.
Did. I like the Eagles.
Yeah. I picked Dallas.
Got a lot of talent. Yeah. Hurts is a strange quarterback, but nonetheless.
I'm being incredibly impulsive on that division because after I watched Friday night's game between the Packers and the Eagles, I said, oh, wow, the Eagles are going to win this division. Then I saw the Cowboys lay a beat down on the Browns. I was like, oh, the Cowboys are going to win the division. So that's the secret to me. Whatever the last NFC East game I watched.
You're a fair weather fan.
You're not buying Daniel Jones and Brian Dable.
You love that voice. You love that. You went to that a couple times today.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Who are you mimicking?
Who famously said Brian Dable?
Who are you mimicking?
I did.
There's nobody mimicking that.
No one mimicking. It's like when I want to make something very clear and like I'm pretending to be somebody. That's the voice. It's what it is.
Some people have voices in their head. They talk to you, they understand.
Is this like an alter ego thing?
Randy Orton.
It's not an alter ego thing. It's it's just funny.
Okay. Number 5.
You can't just say it's.
Number 5.
I think it's just funny. I don't know.
That's what you're going to do when you're forced to do stand-up comedy for losing the punchline picks. When people don't laugh at the jokes. Like, I don't know what you guys want me to do. It's funny. So, that's on you.
You guys are all no sense of humor, but it is funny.
It is. It's like, just funny.
No, I don't know. I think I put it in pretty good context, personally.
Number 5.
I think you do.
Kendrick Lamar is the Super Bowl halftime performance for this year. You like the move?
Go ahead, Colin.
I'm not a big Kendrick Lamar guy. I don't really get into the Super Bowl halftime show. That's just my opinion. What about you, Mike?
Can I be honest with the both of you?
No, you actually can't. You actually have to lie.
I hate live music.
You hate live music?
Hate it.
I want to get into that. You hate concerts?
Can't stand it. I like concerts back in the day. Now,
hold that thought. Mike Rizzo hates live music and concerts. I want to get into that and more next. You listen to Russo and Rizzo live here on 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
Is racking up tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt really worth the 4-year degree? Not a lot of people think so anymore. A recent Wall Street Journal poll found that 56% of us believe that a skills-based education, that's a smarter investment than a 4-year degree. So why waste that time and money when there's an alternative right here in North Palm Beach that teaches the skills that people can actually use in today's world, and you can get those skills in just months, not years. I'm talking about CSB Media Arts Center, the home of Connecticut School of Broadcasting, which provides hands-on training in audio and video production, podcasting, sports broadcasting, social media marketing, filmmaking, coding, and so much more. For over 60 years, CSB has placed thousands of graduates in careers. Take a moment and visit gocsb.com to schedule a tour. That's gocsb.com.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Hi, this is Blaine Isbell, Corporate Vice President of Team IP. For over 30 years, Team IP has been a national leader in decorated apparel and promotional products. National corporate brands and 22 college bowl games, including the Boca Raton Bowl, make Team IP their partner of choice. Team IP, located right in our community in Stewart, is a proud partner of ESPN West Palm. Contact me anytime at 877-821-8643 or head to teamip.com and take the first step in making Team IP your team to boost your brand.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's the Good Greek Spiro. For the best move ever, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek moving and storage. Your superhero movers.
It's August. It's football. Make Twin Peaks your ultimate football headquarters. For fantasy football drafts, be there to watch all the games, of course. Win or lose, you always win with the eats, the drinks, the scenic views, and Twin Peaks signature 29-degree ice-cold beer. Made from scratch favorites, all while you enjoy the football action. Can't make it for all the games? That's okay. Come through for $5 happy hour drafts and $5 select appetizers as well. Twin Peaks, the Ultimate Guys Lodge, your ultimate football headquarters.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Continuing on here on our Tuesday evening, early evening program, Russo and Rizzo live here on ESPN 106.3 in the downtown studios in West Palm Beach at City Place. Russo and Rizzo presented in part by our pals over at the Boca Bowl, the annual Boca Raton Bowl's ABC Supply Great Chefs Tailgate Showcase, presented by the Boca Raton Innovation Campus and CP Group. Heats up on Tuesday, October 15th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. Join ESPN West Palm's Theo Dorsey at Brick in Boca Raton as dozens of local chefs, breweries, cocktail masters serve their favorite tailgate classics. Tickets are on sale now, includes all food samplings, entertainment, beer, wine, cocktails, and soft drinks. Visit spiritofgivingnetwork.org/events to purchase your tickets today. Now, Mike Rizzo said something interesting at the end of the last segment. He said he hates live music. He didn't say concert specifically, but that's included in the umbrella.
It is.
Right?
No, it is. It is.
But live music, concert, it doesn't necessarily need to be concerts.
Right.
You hate live music. Walk me through that.
So I've been to great concerts that I like, okay? My brother and I went to a U2 concert, and I got the tickets for him for his birthday. We had a great time, okay? I saw the Red Hot Chili Peppers live on Venice Beach in about 2006. Life-changing stuff. I love the Chili Peppers.
So all I'm hearing is that he loves live music.
Hang on.
On second name basis with the Chili Peppers, not the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Hang on, okay? The live music that I hate is when you're trying to eat a meal and you got Johnny Two Shoes doing a harmonica, a piano, a guitar, and singing into the microphone, and I can't hear myself think, okay?
So you
hate... At a bar, for instance, a No Names Please bar in Delray, Florida, where my cousin and I are trying to catch up and whatever. I got some guy pretending to be Elvis Presley, okay? I can't do the live... Like, I know Florida is the mecca of, like, going to a bar and watching live music. That stuff is for the birds, bro. I'm not trying to hear a horrible singer do a stand-up act pretending to be someone else. So live music sucks.
You hate
horrible.
You hate the guy who's just trying to make his way as a musician, going paycheck to paycheck, trying to get his name out there as a musical talent, a guy who's probably been playing since he was a kid, just never got his break. Finally gets his break. He goes to a great restaurant in Delray Beach in Boca, somewhere. He's stoked about it. 8 p.m. on a Saturday night. He's excited. He's got a whole set list planned. He can play 4 instruments at once. Most of us can't even play one. This guy getting paid $200 total.
Excuse me.
Gets to express his hard-earned...
Excuse me, hostess. We'll take a table inside.
And
this guy gets paid $200
we'll
to
take a table
express
inside.
his personal passion just for Mike Rizzo over his
it's
chicken
awful.
Alfredo
It's awful.
to be all upset because he can't hear himself think.
Like I could do like a violin. I could do a soft piano. But like I said, Johnny Two Shoes trying to be Justin Timberlake singing I'm in love with your body on a patio, okay? No, thank you. Brother, I wish you nothing. Godspeed.
You go to a bar.
God bless, and Godspeed.
This is so old
Not
man
for
of
me.
you. You go to a bar and you're upset that there's music being played.
Not for me.
You're at a bar. Music's going to be played.
More or less, Colin.
Go to church
where I was
if you don't want to be quiet.
Colin. Where I was at, there was like patio seating. It was a beautiful patio, a beautiful inside. The problem is you still heard Johnny Two Shoes inside.
And now he's driving into his shift. He's actually performing tonight. And he says, you know what? That was a good performance from the 49ers last night. ESPN 106.3, let's tune on in. And he's hearing his dreams crushed by this jackass.
I am in the minority. Everyone loves live music. Just because I don't like live music doesn't mean like I'm hating.
Sounds like you don't like Johnny Two Shoes. Hold on 1 second. It sounds like it's not the live music thing. You talked about how great the concerts you went to were a couple of years ago, and how every music experience you ever had was fantastic. And then all of a sudden, Johnny Two Shoes in Delray with you and your brother completely ruined your perception of music.
Correct. Father, the whole. I mean, dude,
it ruined your perception of music. It's one guy.
And eat somewhere else.
The funniest part about it was we walked by. I looked at my dad. I just started cracking up. We walk inside, and the old man just goes, Mike, God bless him. You know what? Just because I'm not a fan of it doesn't mean that it's wrong. And the live concert stuff, all right, let me touch on that. The older I get, and like now that I'm not.
This is old man talking.
This is old man talking. The older I get, being sober, proudly sober, by the way, for 3 years. Like
I thought you said probably. Not proudly.
Proudly. I just can't do all the people anymore. And Dave Druda, our director of ops here, by the way, love Dave. Probably my favorite person in the office, okay?
All right, damn. We love Dave, too.
Dave and I we call it a curse. I have a tracker's nose, okay? If there was such thing as a past life, I think I was like a guard dog. I smell everything.
Wait, what is this about hearing or smelling?
Smelling. I smell everything. It's terrible. People are disgusting nowadays. People don't shower.
I was wondering where you were
going to a concert. Going to a concert nowadays too, and like the smells and the.
What about
no
a
thanks.
Sporting event?
No thanks, brother.
People don't smell great at a sporting.
You're
event.
talking to a guy who went 5 straight years to Cleveland Browns games. I didn't miss a game for 5 years. We had this conversation. I'm fine on my couch. I'll sit in the press box. You know, I covered the Browns, the Guardians, the Cavs. I sat in the press box. I did my work, went in the locker room. It was great. But like nowadays, like, dude, everything is such made for TV. I'll just watch at home.
Mike Rizzo hates concerts. 888-760-3776 if you disagree. 888-760-3776. Mike Rizzo, Colin
More
Rizzo,
or less
Rizzo.
live music. More or less when I'm out with some
that one
friends.
guy you had at Delray.
Like, where's that No Names Please place we went? And then listen, we're not trying to say bar names or whatever. I understand that.
You're the one who's getting close.
We went
get
to
the town, then we'll get the street, then we'll get the crossroad.
No, stop. We went to a very popular place. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's hot in there. There's no AC.
This is not about life. This is not the bar. You don't like going to a place with people there.
I got Johnny Two Shoes up on
Johnny's
the stage.
back.
You know, like you got drummer Bob in the back. I'm like good on it, man. I'm just so good on it.
You hate being in confined places with people.
You're jealous, actually.
Of what?
Of what?
The performers. Groupies. Life on the road.
Is this an attention thing?
Uh-huh. They're getting all the babes.
You know what?
And no one's looking over at Mikey Yar on the left
side. C-Cat, maybe subconsciously I am. Not ruling anything out. But
So you never learned an instrument?
What did we do? What did everyone
do? The recorder. Yes.
Outside of
cross buns.
Not musically inclined.
Never been interested.
Never been interested. Didn't have the attention.
But you like listening to music.
I love music. Love it.
So you love music, but you hate it live.
So my music, rap, some classic rock. By the way, I love ZZ Top.
All right.
ZZ Top. Do you see how many ZZ Top songs I have in my? Maybe I'd
see how many. Is that what you just asked him? Did you just ask C-Cat how many ZZ Top songs? Did you see how many? How would he know?
Because it's our bump back music.
Oh,
Sharp Dress.
Okay.
We have like two. Sharp Dress Man.
And we share a phone, actually.
Yeah, we
I thought
share.
you were talking about the playlist. Like, how would he know?
We share an Apple Music.
All right, so you like live music, you like rap, but you can't deal with it live.
But like rap, most of it is bad live. You know what I'm saying? You've ever been to
agree there.
Yeah,
I have no problem saying that.
A lot of rap is horrible live, and the whole act is just terrible. Do you want to know who's not bad live? Is Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi is fantastic live. Saw him in Chicago with my buddy Mikey Davis. Now, here's the difference. We were in a suite, and it was from my old company. Like, where we went for the WWE, True Love, when C-Cat stood up, and who was it, Dom and Mysterio?
Yeah, Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan.
There we go. When C-Cat famously stood up and shouted True Love, still one of the funniest things he's ever done to this day. We had a suite, you know. We were around the people we wanted to be
This
around.
is some high society. I can't be near people.
Exactly.
What about airplanes?
Hate them. Love flying.
In general?
Hate airplanes.
You love flying, but hate
All right,
airplanes.
no,
This is
no.
stupid. This is-
No.
I hate
You guys
live
don't
music,
let me
but I
explain.
love
Like,
these
I'm
concerts.
for the hot air balloons.
You are not letting me explain. What did I tell you about my nose? Okay, an airplane.
Oh.
You got like a wolf's nose.
I got a wolf's nose. I smell everything. I smell it. Someone farts on an airplane. I smell them 3 rows back. Okay, miserable experience. You get next to a stinky person.
Not that far back.
You get next to a disgusting person on the airplane. You're done. It's 2 hours of hell.
So tell me something you love about flying then.
I just love the idea of being able to be somewhere. Like, you know, say I'm in Cleveland. I could fly Cleveland and be in LA in 4 hours. I think it's fascinating. And I love the sensation of flying. I love the takeoff. I love the land. I want to learn to be a pilot. My grandfather flew planes. My grandfather was a pilot. He had his own planes, the whole 9 yards. I've always wanted to fly a plane.
So you want to fly a plane, but you hate airplanes.
I just hate the whole process. You
hate live music, but you love concerts.
I never. You're putting words in my mouth.
You were about to say I never said that.
You're the love concert things is. I didn't say I.
You've
love
had concerts that you have loved.
Correct. I've had good times at concerts. I would just prefer to probably not do.
When's the last concert you went to?
Kid Cudi, 2021, Mike Davis, Chicago.
And you had a great time.
We had a great time, but I got sick the next day because I was around all these people.
Was the music that did that? Like you said, like butt. As if.
No, I just feel like, you know, and to be honest, 2021 was different. You know, COVID was rampant and a lot more people were sick and whatever. So maybe that's what it was.
I think you're a little over crowds, right?
Yeah, big time.
Saying
Very
you
much
love,
so.
you can't say you love flying but hate planes.
That is redundant.
I love flyings. How about this? I love flyings. I love flying, but I hate the actual
sitting in a seat and waiting till the plane lands.
Being next to people, being at the mercy of an air. Like, we just need a private charter. If we had a private charter, man, absolutely.
You think you're better than everybody
this is
else.
high society garbage.
Yes.
You need the private planes. You need the suites at the stadium. You need people to wear deodorant, which I understand. That makes some sense, but...
Or don't. You know what?
Don't do that.
Who am I to
Don't
sell?
be
C-Cat, where are you going? All right, hang on. Hold on.
The hippie
C-Cat,
garbage
hang on.
with his Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah. C-Cat just
sitting
put...
here like it's Woodstock. Give me a
C-Cat
break.
just put the malarkey. You're flying. We're not going to get into details. C-Cat's going on a plane. He's going to be next to the stinkiest person on that plane after, you know, making fun of me because how is it not fair to say I like flying, I like airplanes, I hate the process of flying. I hate waiting in security, and that's why I have clear and pre-check, okay? Both. I could never, you know,
Use
not
both
get
in the same flight?
Both.
Slips them on and off?
Both. But being at the mercy of the airlines, I was, for instance, I was at Peoria Airport one time trying to fly to Chicago to get home to Cleveland for the holidays. The guy comes up over the thing.
Here we go, the voice.
We are waiting on the proper paperwork clarifications. We're waiting on one piece of paper.
What piece of paper are you waiting for? Stop pulling my leg, all right? Something's going on.
Thank you for your patience for this time. We understand you people have connecting flights.
You just screwed my whole holiday. I'm missing Christmas because of a piece of
What are you
freaking
flying
paper.
Christmas morning? Give the guy a break. It takes an hour.
Good deals on Christmas morning. I fly on holidays.
Do you fly on Christmas morning?
Yeah.
We appreciate your patience and thank you for flying. No names, please.
I don't think there's any airline partners. I think you could bash an airline if you really wanted to.
No,
but
not worth it. Not worth it.
nonetheless.
Love flying. I love the airlines.
Can't wait for the Mikey Rizzo United endorsement.
Love the airlines. CCAT, we love the airlines.
Love airlines, hate airplanes, love music, hate concerts.
Like, you can't look at me with a straight face.
Love going out to dinner, but hates noise.
Say you see some family member. You're with some family members you haven't seen for a really long time, okay? You go to a nice restaurant, and you got some Johnny Two Shoes playing 5 instruments, and he sounds horrible. What do you do?
I congratulate him for chasing his dream.
Do you congratulate him for chasing his dream?
Yes.
You can't blame the little guy for trying.
In my head, I go, God, I hate live music.
And he hates you.
How about this? What if we're doing a remote and we're in somewhere and some guy's trying to eat dinner or have a meal and we're at a bar or we're at a store or wherever we may be and you and I are blabbering about God knows what and this guy is either trying to enjoy a meal or quietly shop in peace, but he's got 2 loudmouths on the speaker system.
Go ahead and leave.
You could leave.
You want to know what he's going to hear?
Thank you for dealing with this.
The voice.
I couldn't even.
And that's the difference. Everyone in
finish
general likes music. Not everyone likes radio. Not everyone likes sports. Not everyone likes sports talk radio.
And you
are more in the wrong going remote than the performing artist is doing a live show.
You want to know what I say to that? Fair play to you.
Okay, thanks.
Fair play to you.
The point CCAT and Russo.
Fair
play to you. I'm different. I like, just because I don't like live music and Johnny Two Shoes.
Do you hate trains?
Trains?
Trains.
I think I could count one time I've ridden a train.
You've never been on a train?
I've been on a train in Massachusetts. We took a train in Massachusetts. Now, we've taken an RTA a couple of times downtown for St. Patrick's Day.
Cleveland does not have a train system?
You don't want to ride it.
Okay.
Trust me. You don't want to ride it.
You never ridden a train out to the suburbs of Cleveland?
No. We drive in Cleveland. There's no traffic. Now,
You've been to Chicago.
Yeah. I was about to say the Red Line. I've been on the Red Line.
You've been on 2 trains in your life?
Probably 2 or 3. I've never been to New York. Don't have plans to go.
Hold on. Have you been on a train?
Yeah, that's how you go to Yankee games, of course.
I'm surprised. Maybe this is the East Coast in me coming out.
It totally is. That's why I said, when my uncle, we go to Boston, we take the train. It is what it is. I prefer not to.
You don't like confined spaces with people?
No. I don't like.
Is that it?
That and,
And you have an acute sense of smell?
Correct. And it's miserable. Miserable. It's a curse.
Do you ever let anybody know?
Dave Druda.
You let Dave Druda know that he smells bad?
No, that I have a note. I thought you more or less said that you have a crazy, that you could smell things, that you could pick up a scent.
When you get hired here, there's like a little bit about me, where everyone knows a little bit about every new hire here. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone's company does that.
I totally missed that question, Colin. Fair play to you, dude. You set me up for that one.
A little bit about me, Mike Rizzo. If you smell bad, it'll hurt me the most.
Correct. And did you throw in I'm a Pokemon master?
And I love flying, but I hate planes.
Oh, my God.
I like music.
Have you ever let anybody know? You hate the smell of people. Have you ever let anybody know?
No, I mean, what am I... Colin, if someone stinks, how do you look at somebody and go, bro, you smell like... How do you look at someone and say that? You can't. You literally cannot.
I'm looking out for somebody. I've done it to buddies.
I've got smelly days.
Oh, my God. If they're your friends...
That.
Dude, if they're my friends or family, I'll go, dude, you smell like you-know-what. Fix it. But, like, a coworker or, like, someone
Dave
that...
Druda?
No. I thought you said, who did you tell you have this crazy nose? Come on. Dave knows I love him. But, like, that's probably the hardest thing to do is to tell a person you don't really know that you're in charge of for a significant amount of time that they smell like poop. I mean, how do you do it?
It was pretty tough when I was in, like, Sunday school, CCD we called it, in church, like following class. Someone to my left goes, I was talking to him, he goes, this is probably 3rd grade. I'm sorry, but your breath smells really bad. And
dude, 3rd graders' breath, does that even happen?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Rob Alonzo, I'll never forget.
Wow.
So I am chronically checking my breath.
So hold on. This kid traumatized you.
Yeah, that hurt my feelings.
And you're telling me that you're not above people telling you that you smell bad?
Yeah.
But you remember Rob Lorenzo. Wait, who was it?
No, Rob Lorenzo.
Rob
it's
Alonzo.
Not Rob
Mr. New
Lorenzo.
York.
See, now you got Druda checking. Druda walked into the production studio. You see him on the YouTube stream. Now he's checking. See what you did?
I didn't
see
do
what you
anything.
did?
You're the one who said you told Drew to spell.
See what you did?
Mike Rizzo hates concerts, people, smell. He hates eating.
No, I do not hate eating.
He
Puppies,
likes,
puppies
he
and
likes
kittens?
the idea of
No.
travel, but he hates doing the travel. He likes people. He likes talking, but he doesn't like when other people are talking.
That's not true. I don't like live music and Johnny Two Shoes playing 6 guitars.
He
while
doesn't like
trying to
that
eat my
one
meal.
guy who's chasing his dream, playing 5 instruments at a restaurant.
It's not live
Impressive.
music. It's not my thing, bro. Fair play to you.
That was Mike Rizzo, Colin Russo, C-Cat helping us out behind the glass. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3. We close out the program next. You're listening to Russo and Rizzo.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
It's your boy JC on the brand new Questionable Call with Josh Cohen up right now on YouTube. We now know exactly why the Tyreek Hill situation happened. Brand new videos out and we got it. Subscribe now to Questionable Call with Josh Cohen exclusively on YouTube. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
With the resources of a national bank and personalized service of local teams, PNC Bank is committed to helping their customers and communities move forward. PNC, local teams working to make a difference in the South Florida community. See how at pnc.com.
Canes fans, mark your calendars for Saturday, September 14th at 3:30 p.m. as your Miami Hurricanes face off against Ball State at Hard Rock Stadium. This game is more than just football. Don't miss the special halftime show featuring a reunion of the class of '89. It's going to be a celebration of Hurricane history and a game packed with action. Tickets are available at MiamiHurricanes.com or by calling 1-800-GO-CANES. Get your tickets today.
Hey, it's Josh Cohen for the Accident Attorneys, Anajar and Levine. Car accidents, truck accidents, slip and fall, trip and fall. Did you get injured on the job? Workers' comp problems? My friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. Remember, they do not get paid unless you get paid, and they will fight to get you the maximum compensation you know you deserve. Here's what you do. You just call. Call Anajar and Levine for your absolutely free consultation. Do not settle for just any attorneys. Demand Anajar and Levine, and demand the Anajar and Levine difference. It takes just one phone call to begin to take back control of your life. So do that. Take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life.
Hey, the Peppers.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Pet peeves of Mike Rizzo include, but are not limited to, people, airplanes, being next to somebody, smell, expressing your passions, public performance, music, but only in the live form.
It's just live music and airlines. You guys are, you're.
There is an airline partner, by the way. So
yeah,
take it
exactly.
easy.
It's why I said.
That's news to me. I didn't realize there was an airline partner.
Come on, bro. I've been doing this long
And drugs and
enough.
alcohol.
By the way,
pet peeve.
Did you bump back to this song specifically?
No. Serendipity, baby.
Rest in peace.
It's Russo and Rizzo live here, ESPN 106.3. Colin Russo, Mike Rizzo, joining you now. You hate everything about being near people. Thank God we're okay here. What about this smell in the office?
Oh, dude, I didn't want to go there.
There's a smell lingering in the office over here at the City Place Studios.
If I'm being honest, it smells like a dead animal is in the vents.
Thank you for being honest.
Do you smell that as well?
No.
I don't. I'm pretty nose blind.
Oh, dude, bring Judah in here. He'll tell you. It is.
I am nose blind.
I think there's there's got to be a squirrel, a raccoon.
A squirrel? Do squirrels exist down here?
Yeah, I do. There's a gray one that walks around every day at 4:15. Like clockwork.
Hold on,
I'll show you.
Stop.
Set your watch to it.
I'll show you.
There's a gray squirrel
Every day at
that makes it
4:15.
a point at 4:15 to walk down the sidewalk.
I see him every day. What? I'm about to give him a name. If I see him one more time, I'm giving him a name.
How many times have you seen him?
Like 4 times.
All right. So there's squirrels here. There's no raccoons here, right?
Yeah, there's raccoons.
There's raccoons in South Florida?
They're everywhere.
Yeah, raccoons.
They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Can they deal with this heat?
Yeah.
They're like cockroaches, man. If there was a nuclear holocaust, I'm convinced that raccoons would still be around. They eat garbage.
I had no
Garbage
idea.
juice.
I haven't seen a raccoon, maybe.
I He's seen you.
All right, so listen. You had your fun with me. All right. Let's hear some of your pet peeves. All right. My pet peeve is Johnny Two Shoes doing horrible music at a bar and people smelling bad on an airplane.
Coughing into space. You know what I'm talking about?
Just not covering your mouth
Not
when you're
covering
coughing.
your mouth.
Okay.
Coughing into space.
Just like that.
Like kids do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, it's not limited to kids.
I'm saying, but they're the number one.
Australians.
Yeah.
They cough into space like it's nobody's business.
Have you been to Australia?
No, I've never been to Australia.
And then how do you know
the word's gotten around to you?
Then how do you know Australia? How the hell they live a hemisphere away?
I've been to Europe.
That's a great accent.
And Australia loves. I've been to Europe. I've traveled fairly extensively for somebody my age. Australians, they cough into space like it's nobody's business. Earlier in June, I lived on a boat in Croatia for about 10 to 11 days.
Mr. Worldwide over here.
And it was me and a bunch of Australians. And they developed some sort of phobia of coughing into space. And I don't know. And I know it's an easy one. That is bad. I've never liked that.
Coughing into space. It's not what I expected. Sea-Cat.
Potato salad or any kind of cold macaroni salad.
What?
Those type of dishes at barbecues.
You've never had my mom's, dude. I'll tell you that.
I've had
What's wrong
all
with
of them.
it? You've had a bad one and it just like traumatized? Did Rob Lorenzo give you one in 3rd grade?
Not Rob Lorenzo.
Rob Alonzo.
Social
Rob
media
Alonzo.
manager of Unsportsmanlike and ESPN Radio.
So Rob Alonzo did not. Yeah, you did not. You didn't
No,
go to Rob Alonzo's
Alonzo
house?
Morning?
No, it scares me. I look at it and it doesn't make sense. The texture with the temperature.
So you're a texture food guy? Like that makes you uncomfortable?
Yes, I don't eat mashed potatoes, and I especially don't eat. Yeah.
This is something interesting.
Yeah, mashed potatoes chronic.
That's
Put
for
a
you
little-
too?
I love them. No, I love mashed.
oh.
Put some butter in them. Mashed potato outside of a French fry, Colin, is like the only potato I really like, to
Hold
be
on.
honest.
So you don't like the texture of you don't like the soft texture.
You know, it doesn't do anything for me. And
Does yogurt
yeah.
bother you?
I'll eat yogurt because it's sweet.
But it's
Savory
but
and smooth.
Colin,
Ew.
Sea-Cat.
What about something that's like chewy? Bananas.
That's also sweet. I'll eat banana.
So, Colin, Sea-Cat, his coffee drink is a candy cane. Have you ever seen it?
A what?
It's a sugar rush.
A can.
His coffee that he drinks.
There's a coffee drink order called the candy cane.
No, it's just so much sugar in it that it might as well be a candy cane.
It's like dessert for breakfast, essentially.
Yeah.
How many
'cause
sugars?
I just do extra or double cream. And the place I get mine, the cream is very sweet, so it pretty much is sugar.
And Colin, you know my order: black coffee, dark espresso, and that's it. And you don't do caffeine.
But,
I don't believe
seriously,
in caffeine. That's a pet peeve.
When I used to walk through the supermarket in my hometown, and I would walk past like the cold salad bar. You ever see one of those?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
I threw up once. I looked at it and I puked in the middle of that supermarket in Chester, New York.
Now who's smelling stuff?
Puked into my sleeve because I was embarrassed. So like I was old enough to be embarrassed of throwing up in public, but not old enough to hold it in. So I was wearing a hoodie, like a sweatshirt, and I put the sleeve around my mouth and just disposed of it into my sweatshirt.
Was that the last time you
In public?
Vomited in public?
In front of everybody, yeah. Yeah, I've like done it in a bathroom of a public restroom, the Hard Rock in Atlantic City, but that's it.
One of our teammates who will be named, who will be nameless. Remember when we were in Delray? Yeah, Colin does.
That's horrible radio.
Colin.
Yeah.
You can't just say like, remember that one time?
Remember, Colin? The best part about that was
inside
Colin
joke,
goes,
right?
Colin's looking at me like, and I go, remember we were in Delray, and he just goes, it resonated, and he goes.
Yeah, nice and not audibly registering.
Great radio.
Just
so
bad.
I'm interested by this. So you have some salads. Generally, you're okay.
Yeah, like a normal leafy salad. Yeah, with some good dressing.
But you don't like the chewy texture that makes you. Wow,
No.
dude, you're like gagging on
Yeah,
it.
like pasta warm with sauce, vodka sauce preferably. Absolutely. Maybe an Alfredo perchance. I would love that. But now we're mixing in potato salad. It's cold. It's
You're not an
mushy, it's wet.
antipasto. You don't do antipasto.
Soup.
No.
Soup's
you hate
okay.
antipasto. That's
Soup's
what it
okay.
is.
It's warm.
Colin,
Oatmeal.
Oatmeal, I have had my trials and tribulations with. I finally broke down and ate oatmeal last year by dumping a bunch of brown sugar in it and mixing in.
What? You're acting like you just you climbed the mountain of your life here.
I just came around to oatmeal.
Okay.
Oatmeal has long time avoided me, and I've avoided it. And, times are tough. Dollars were short. I decided I guess I need to fill up on oatmeal.
Do you like?
Thank you, Quakers.
Do you like concerts?
I do like concerts. I don't go to many, but I like them.
Isn't it? It's too much. It's a lot. Going to a concert.
I don't like concerts.
Would you agree?
I don't like because they're too expensive.
That and it's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
It's like
Concerts
an
are too
all day.
expensive.
It's an all day affair.
Are you talking about the tickets or everything involved?
Generally, everything's upcharged. It's like a sports game. Everything. I guess everything's upcharged nowadays. But a concert and a sporting event are unnecessarily expensive.
Yeah, I'd say
Agreed.
A sports game, you at least get a ton of value of it as a sports fan. You're not going to get the best value out. It's the same game you're watching on TV versus in person. It's not the same music you're going to be listening to.
Nowadays, it's almost like you go to the game to be able to say you went to the game, or you go to the concert to say that you saw the person. It's all for social media. It's all for clicks. It's all for clout.
Comparison culture. Is that a pet peeve of yours?
Yes. I don't like when co-hosts on the station go on an awesome trip to Utah and tell everybody about it, make them jealous.
Whoa.
We got to go. We got 1 minute before the show ends.
Who did that?
I don't know. I don't know who did that.
Is that him?
Music's playing.
No.
It's the
Look how
Peppers.
people in the office go to Utah to, enjoy themselves.
That's a
go
joke.
to bachelorette party.
I said co-host.
And C-Cat behind the glass, upset at the notion that he was not invited to this bachelorette party.
Oh, now it makes sense.
Yes.
You weren't invited
Now
to a
it makes
bachelorette
sense.
party in Utah.
Dang, you got to the bottom of it, Sherlock.
I missed them though. The office wasn't the same without all of them. It was quiet.
I don't think that's the point is you don't like when people go somewhere that you're not and post about it.
Yes. I think it's rude.
That was pet peeves, some strange ones. Mike Rizzo hates concerts.
And live
C-Cat
music.
hates coworkers. It's been Russo and Rizzo live here in ESPN 106.3. We're sending you off into Wednesday. Be healthy, be happy, be focused. We'll see you next time.
Sports fans, it's the best time of the year. It's fall when everything is happening. Football's back. Fighting gets real. Baseball playoffs. Get ahead of the action. Plan your time now to be at Twin Peaks, the ultimate guys lodge, the ultimate sports lodge. Never ever recover to watch any fights, any MMA, UFC, or boxing pay-per-views. Always watch for free. Of course, the eats, the drinks, the signature scenic views, and of course, Twin Peaks 29-degree ice-cold beer made from scratch favorites like their burgers, wings, mozzarella bites, and so much more. Happy hour weekdays. Take advantage of $5 man-size